Okay, if y'all just now tuning in, we are on part 4, and this is the finale, and it is a doozy. So at this time now, Mama Rose and Malcolm realize, or at least now acknowledges that they know each other because of Miss Aunt Lisa Big Mouth. But it is a good thing. But right now, Jade is just kind of distraught as she doesn't understand what's going on. So here's the situation. You know, some love stories start fresh, others rewrite everything you even thought you might have known. So, this is part 4. So, as they're still sitting around, and remember, they just had the wine, they were sitting around talking and getting to know each other, and but it's a heavy silence now. Everybody's sitting around and they're just like, okay, y'all used to be together. Okay, you once loved each other. Okay, fine. But that's not the case now. And, obviously Malcolm's like, but I love Jade anyway. So, I mean, that was 30 years ago. Now this is now. And so Jade's heart is like pounding. She's like, oh my God, this is crazy. And she was like, something's just off. She could feel it. It's kind of like in the pit of your stomach, you feel feeling and you just don't know how to deal with it. So, sometimes our intuition tells us this, but it just, sometimes let's call it hindsight. So Mama Rose is sitting there staring at Malcolm, and her expression on her face is kind of like, I can't really read it, but, she realizes, you done open up a can of worms. Now it's time to just let it be all exposed, right? So then she says it, but she says it really softly, but she's very firm. Because, Mom was like, I love her. I want to be with her. And she was like, Malcolm, you cannot love her. And so, like, Malcolm's like, what? What we had was a long time ago. Boop, boop, boop. It is what it is. It was just a fling, but this is true love. We've been spending so much time together. I want her to be, my wife. Boop, boop, boop. And then after Mama Rose said you can't be with her, you can't love her, Malcolm was like, he kind of pulls Jade's hand tight and he kind of pulls her in and was like, what? What are you talking about, Rose? And so now Jade, her stomach gets twisted. She's like, oh my God, I feel nauseous. She's like, Mom, what do you mean? So Mama Rose, like, and she takes a little sip of her drink because, everybody's sipping their wine, but sometimes you need a little liquid courage. And so Mama Rose takes her sip and she's like, more almost like a whisper. She's like, she's your daughter. What? You is lying to me, honey. You is lying. Yes. See, just so a preface, Jade had never met her father. Her mom had always, had a guy in her life and boop, boop, boop. And at a certain time in her age, her mom finally revealed that was not her father or whatever case may be. But she was like, the guy that raised her, he had passed on. And she was like, it doesn't matter. He's my dad, whatever. But her mama never told her about this Jamaican, that she met in spring break in Miami. So it is what it is. So now you have to think about it. 30 years ago in Miami, Rose was just so young and carefree. She was out of spring break. She got a romance. She felt like it, it had been forever. But forever never came. She found out she was pregnant, but she didn't find out until she was at home. And she was like, I don't even really know the guy. I just know his first name. And I knew he had an accent, but I was like, obviously I knew he was from Jamaica, so I wasn't going to bother him, boop, boop, boop. And she just went on with life. She got married and she was fine. And the guy that she married, he was cool with it. She was pregnant, so she was cool. But she found out she was pregnant after she left. And by then, life moved so fast. her family stepped in, so decisions was made. So she was like, maybe I should look for Malcolm, maybe I should not. But when she, tried to do her little due diligence in Miami, she, like I said, she found out that he was so far away, or, he was Jamaican, he didn't even live there. So it's kind of like, I just got to raise Jade, without even looking back. And it did hurt for a while, but, it is what it is. And she didn't think that she would have to look back until now. So now Jade is like, oh my gosh, she's kind of like in a rage. And she's like, when she shot up, how you could hear the screech of like chairs falling over and boop, boop, boop. She's like, no, that's Mama. That is not possible. That just cannot be real. I've been laying with this man for this past time. We were going to get married. And so Malcolm's hand, he's holding her. Remember, he was holding her hand. And he was just shaking. And so he decided just to get up. And he's shaking. He can't even breathe. His breath is uneven. And then he's like, Rose, I did not know. You never told me. And so tears wells up in Mama Rose's eyes. And she's like, I didn't think I had to. Or I never had a chance. So Jade clutched her stomach and she's like, oh my God, I feel sick to my stomach. The room felt like it was spinning. And she said, what's now? We just pretend like I didn't fall in love with my own father? Girl, the silence was deeper than ever. Oh my God. And Malcolm's face, if he would have been light-skinned, his face would have been pale. Dude had no color. You ever see a black man with no color in his face? His voice was like, even barely there, it was a whisper, and he was like, I never wanted to hurt you. And so Jay was like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but it's too late for that. I'm hurt. So now you have a family where love is shattered. You had two women that were in love with the same guy, and one come to find out it's her father. And the truth of the storm is they never even saw it coming. Mama Rose, she had to face the weight of the past that she thought she left behind. She thought she buried those thoughts and those feelings, and the fact that the father of her child was okay. It didn't need to be known because she had found a father for her daughter. Jade and Malcolm, they carried a secret that changed everything. Aunt Lisa, now, she was just glad she hadn't eaten yet because she was sick to her stomach. So, some love stories are new and some come full circle. And some should just never be even started. You need to tell who your baby daddy is, honey. And do a little research. Thank you for tuning in to my story. It's called The Show Tell 'Em. Ciao.